righty, welcome back. All right, we are just killing it today, and I'm so close to having the attorneys give me a release to show you how the New York City sheriff, probably on the orders of the governor and the mayor, is lying to America, basically, to try to paint these little small bar owners here in Staten Island, New York, as bad guys and criminals and all this other stuff. And I'm just not going to take it anymore, to be honest with you. I'm not happy about it. Um, but you find out more and more that you can't trust authority, not here in New York. And it sure seems like in a lot of places in this country that these blue governors and these blue mayors are out there killing small businesses, literally, and people are acting out. I saw this woman in California. She was literally brought to tears by the fact that she's a restaurant and bar. She can't be open. She's closed. She can't feed her family. And then she shows up to her place of business, and wouldn't you know it, there's a whole Hollywood movie crew there with 5 or 6 tents set up with tables and chairs, and then people on the crew are sitting there eating and drinking. And you start wondering why the frustration level is so high that people are lashing out. It's because the government is showing us in living color that there are two sets of rules here. The big guys can open, the Walmarts, the Home Depots, the Targets, they can be open because they have these lobbying organizations that pour millions and millions of dollars into these governors and mayors' campaigns. And the little man doesn't have anybody to speak up for them. There's no group. There's all these little, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and your local economic development community, but there's no consolidated voice. And I'm seriously trying to help put together a team of people from around the country who will become the consolidated voice, because it's easy to smush a whole bunch of little guys here and there. The problem is when they all get together, it causes a wave. All right. Now, last week we had a rally here at Max Pub, and I was speaking, and I was asking the sheriff to let me in the bar so I could use it as a TV studio, which is an essential business. He said no. He said no. Right to my face, he said no. And then I said, all right, well, look, we got 2,000 people here. So there's more of us than there is of you. And then he started shaking his head like, no. And then he tells my lawyer, you better tell him to stop. He's inciting a riot. So I calmed down a little because, as I mentioned many times, my dad was a retired New York City police officer. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the NYPD and all law enforcement for that matter. I actually respect the sheriffs of New York City, except the head sheriff, to be honest with you, because I know he's the pharaoh. He's the one doing the work of the man, the governor and the mayor. And he's not being honest with us either. Okay, that we've been told categorically that someone got hurt in an incident the other night, who identified themselves as a police officer, and then they broke 2 legs. All of that is false. So what does it tell you when the government authorities that are charged with keeping us safe and providing public safety, what does it tell you when they're lying to the media to try to hurt a small business guy who's just sticking up for his freedom? It starts to get crazy. Victor Rukavina keeps calling them the cigarette cops. And it's not a joke, Victor, because these good men and women from the sheriff's department, they're just trying to make a living. Their boss are telling them what to do. But typically in New York, the sheriff isn't like Joe Arpaio out in Arizona. The sheriff isn't the sheriff. You know what I mean? It's not like Mayberry where you have a sheriff. The sheriff in New York comes out of the Department of Finance. And what the sheriff does is, if you don't pay your rent and the landlord goes to court and then asks you to leave, the sheriff comes down and executes the vacate order. So they tell you, get out of here. And then if you owe a whole bunch of money and you leave it in the store, I think the sheriff comes down and tags all that stuff and confiscates it so the owner of the building can auction it off or sell it. So the sheriff here is really an administrative function. They're not law enforcement. They enforce civil laws. And in this case, Governor Cuomo's put out these crazy edicts, which aren't even recognized as laws. They're not laws. They're edicts, they're emergency orders, which far overreach the power and authority given to them by the legislature. And then they're empowering people who don't arrest people regularly to go out and effectuate street arrests. So if you want to talk about craziness, what we're seeing in New York, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. And if you're watching this show and you know a small business owner who's dying, who's non-essential business, can't be opened, they need the money, they need some kind of, have them reach out to me, please. Share the stream right now. I'm going to talk about it for the rest of the segment, the rest of the show, and hope for the rest of my life until this crap stops. I am empowered to make you a news studio because I want to know where news is happening around the world. And if you're a non-essential business who wants to defy these draconian lockdown orders and you want to open your business, reach out to me, JT at Liquid Lunch TV. You can you can direct message me. And if you know anyone out there, share them the stream. Let them know. I can have their store open tomorrow. Will the cops come and bother them? Maybe. Do we have attorneys here in New York who can help them? Definitely. But aside from small business owners, I need attorneys around the country who care about liberty and freedom to step up like Lou Gelomino and Mark Fonte have done here in New York. They're representing every business owner who's got fined or vacated from the governor, mayor, and the New York City sheriff for free. They're representing them pro bono. And they are doing one hell of a job. That I could tell you. So I can help. Miran Velarich says that he knows some small businesses in his area. I'm happy to talk to him. I could turn on anyone with a webcam and a Zoom connection. You can be deemed an essential news publisher tomorrow. Give you all the documentation you need. It'll be straight up, and you can broadcast. Now, if you want to start giving away booze or food or something like that, and that's okay too, because everyone knows on Liquid Lunch, we report the news with the booze. And we've been doing that for years now. So no one can stop me from what I've been doing. And now, honestly, no one can stop you. Because if you want to join me in the Liquid Lunch Bunch as part of the new media, the people's news, you got to let me know. Reach out to me. Your business can be open tomorrow. If anybody knows this lady from the Pineapple Hill Saloon, can reach out to her. You tell her that she's going to be a news bureau on BizTV, and she could be open tomorrow as a television program, and she'll love it. And there's not really much the authorities can do about it. So here's to you and anybody else. Reach out, let JT know that we're drinking and eating at Mac's Public House in Staten Island, and we intend to get hundreds, if not thousands of more restaurant, bar, salon, gym. If your place is a TV set, you can be open tomorrow, and I can help you. I'm going to take a quick break right here. We're going to come back after this with the author of Kick-Ass Conservative, Joy Villa, huge Trump supporter, great friend of Liquid Lunch, joins us right here, right after this, on the Liquid Lunch Biz TV from Mac's Pub in Staten Island.